Science influencing art's influence on science. This is an understanding of the relationship between art and science and how one has influenced the other. What do a paintbrush and an anatomical sketch have in common? In the hands of Leonardo da Vinci, they were both tools of discovery. From the flowing muscles of a running horse to the swirling forces of water, Leonardo saw art not as separate from science but as a sort of lens. It's interesting to see how art shaped science's history and how Leonardo da Vinci's work reveals a two-way influence between society and scientific progress. Da Vinci's scientific curiosity was revolutionary, albeit that isn't exactly what first comes to mind when thinking about the man. Through dissection, he created some of the most accurate anatomical sketches ever seen in Europe at the time, centuries ahead of their use in medical textbooks today. His inventions, like, weirdly enough, early concepts of helicopters and tanks, may not have flown or rolled, but they planted seeds in the minds of future engineers. Again, not really what first comes to mind when considering the artistic genius and his array of other renowned works. He viewed the body, the machine, and nature as interconnected systems, and that view still continues to shape modern society today. However, Leonardo didn't work in a vacuum. The Renaissance, as we know, celebrated beauty, proportion, and classical ideals, and that aesthetic shaped how he approached science. His anatomical studies didn't just record structure, they looked for symmetry and harmony, values inherited from art. Societal norms also influenced what he could study. Dissecting corpses was taboo, and yet art provided a reason to observe the body under the pretense of improving his painting and later on, vice versa as well. Support from his patrons like Ludovico Sforza, an Italian nobleman who ruled as the Duke of Milan, wasn't just for cathedrals and portraits, it also backed his scientific experiments. In Renaissance Italy, curiosity was a great luxury, undoubtedly funded by great wealth. Science is social nonetheless. In his 1894 article, Leonardo da Vinci as a Pioneer in Science, William Roscoe Thayer writes that da Vinci's genius lay in his insatiable curiosity and in his refusal to take inherited beliefs for granted. Thayer notes that while medieval thinkers repeated myths like salamanders living in fire, Leonardo would have tested them nonetheless. He embodies the modern scientific mindset: observe, question, experiment. Though many of his manuscripts were lost or ignored for centuries, Leonardo's drawings and notes reflect the dawning of a new way of thinking, rooted not in dogma, but in reason and in curiosity. So how has science influenced society? Through figures like Da Vinci, it expanded our understanding of the body, nature, and technology. Likewise, how has society influenced science? By shaping the questions that were asked, funding the pursuit of knowledge, and providing tools like art that made science visible. Da Vinci reminds us that the boundary between art and science is, at best, an illusion. Before MRI or electron microscopes, one man used pen and ink to map the brain's wiring. I mean, really, how neurotic is that? His name was Santiago Ramon y Cajal. Cajal discovered that the neuron was the fundamental unit of the nervous system, the neuron doctrine. His detailed drawings visualized synapses, axonal crossings, and circuit organization long before modern imaging. They transformed how scientists and society at large conceived of the brain structure. What made his scientific illustrations so powerful? Cajal's early life as an artist deeply shaped his vision. From drawing horses and landscapes as a boy with homemade pigments to practicing with cigarette paper, he cultivated an eye for detail. Moreover, his visualizations are steeped in the mimetic tradition, infused with metaphor and narrative. His depiction of synapses as protoplasmic kisses show how artistic sensibility enriched his scientific worldview. In Nature Reviews Neuroscience, Rodolfo Llinás described Cajal as more than an anatomist. He had an uncanny sense of functional implication in his drawings. His neuron diagrams illustrated not just form, but function, directionality of signals, optimized circuitry, predictive of behavior. He formulated 3 optimization laws: space, material, and time, that presaged modern functional biology. By marrying art and empirical observation, Cajal created a scientific legacy grounded in visualization. So how has science influenced society? Cajal's neuron doctrine and images have become foundational tools in neuroscience and education. How has society influenced science? His training in art and cultural traditions shaped his scientific vision and representation strategies. At the intersection of art and science, figures like Cajal remind us that seeing and knowing are deeply connected.